In the long winter nights of Norway, the sky was painted with the dancing northern lights. Green and purple waves twisted like spirits across the dark heavens, reflected in the icy waters of the fjords. Along this magical road, a tour bus climbed slowly toward the mountain peaks. Among the many passengers was a young man named Eric. He had grown up in the city, but as a child, he had often heard the old legends. The wild man of the mountains appears on the darkest nights and follows those who are alone. He had joined this tour not only to see the northern lights, but also to walk in the footsteps of those stories. Inside the bus were familiar faces: Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo. Daphne was snapping photos, Velma scribbling in her notebook, Fred studying the map, while Shaggy and Scooby were already fighting over a sandwich.
Zoinks! Scoob! Half of that was mine.
Rahee, we share.
Eric smiled warmly. Little did he know, this journey would become the most unforgettable adventure of his life. When the bus stopped at the end of a snowy trail, they stepped out to see an old wooden cabin, its roof heavy with snow, windows sealed with frost. It would be their shelter for the coming nights. The holiday had begun like a fairy tale, but shadows were already waiting within. The cabin welcomed them with a stone fireplace, narrow hallways, and floors that groaned under their steps. The fire spread a gentle warmth, but the air was heavy, as though the walls held secrets. Scooby's ears twitched. He sensed something was not right. As night deepened, the silence was broken. First a faint creak, then the groan of the stairs, as though invisible feet pressed down one by one. Finally, whispers carried by the wind against the frosted windows.
Fred, did you hear that too?
Yes, there's someone or something here.
Scooby barked nervously. Shaggy dove under his blanket. Eric turned to the window. In the snow outside, a tall shadow flickered between the trees, then vanished. That night, no one slept in peace. The cabin itself seemed alive, breathing, watching, waiting. By morning, strange symbols appeared outside the cabin. Circles, crosses, mysterious patterns carved into the snow. Velma crouched, adjusting her glasses.
These aren't natural. Someone drew them deliberately.
The legend says the wild man leaves his marks to follow the lonely.
Shaggy clung to Scooby, both trembling.
Zoinks! Then we're sticking together, right, Scoob?
Together.
But the signs were only the beginning. That evening, doors creaked open on their own, windows rattled, and within the howling wind came sounds like human breath. At one point, Scooby glanced at the window and saw not his own reflection, but another face staring back. The cabin was no longer a refuge. It had become a trap. On a stormy night, Scooby's barking jolted everyone awake. Eric rushed to the window and froze. In the middle of the snow stood a tall man, his coat torn, holding a torch. His eyes gleamed in the moonlight.
Fred, is that a ghost?
It can't be. That's a real person.
But why is he here?
The figure stepped back and disappeared into the forest. The group followed his trail through the storm until they reached a hidden cave. Inside, they found modern lanterns, food wrappers, and fresh footprints. Velma's eyes narrowed.
This isn't a hermit's hideout. It looks more like backstage.
The mystery was shifting. This was not the work of a lost spirit, but of someone who wanted to be seen. From the cave shadows, the man emerged. He tore off his mask, and the truth was laid bare. He was not a ghost, not a forgotten hermit, but an employee of a local tourism company. He confessed with a weary sigh.
I wasn't alone. I created this illusion to make tourists feel the thrill of the legend, a little fear, a little mystery. It makes the trip unforgettable. That was my plan.
People's safety is not a game. Someone could have been seriously hurt.
Sometimes the greatest mysteries aren't ghosts, but the games people play.
The storm cleared, and the northern lights returned, painting the sky in shimmering waves. Eric looked out across the snow, his heart both heavy and full. This journey showed me not only the beauty of Norway, but also the truth that hides behind every mystery.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
And so the story ended, carrying both the magic of the land and the lingering shadow of human mystery beneath the northern lights. Mystery. Something strange or unknown. Rat's legend. An old story people tell for many years. Tourist. A person traveling to see new places. Cabin. A small wooden house, usually in the mountains or forest. Northern lights. Colorful lights in the night sky in the north. Footsteps. The sound made when someone walks. Shadow. A dark shape made when light is blocked. Whisper. To speak very quietly. Snowstorm. Heavy snow with strong wind. Footprints. Marks left by feet in snow or sand. Fear. The feeling of being afraid. Truth. Something real, not a lie. Adventure. An exciting or unusual journey. Team. A group of people working together.